26 to order. Mr. McNabb is absent. All the other members are present. We'll open with a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Item number 3 on the agenda is delegations. We don't have any. Number 4, recognition of Pocahontas County High School girls basketball team. School improvement updates and a year-end checkout process. No, it's just the girls basketball team.
That's right. Mhm. You got one. So I've asked, Coach Kim McClung. Come up here and join me. I do want to say, I don't know a great deal about basketball, but I love seeing the girls play, and I love seeing Coach McClung coach. Yes, yeah, you had a good time up here. So I have some certificates, but as I call their name, you want to read off their
I didn't bring the stats, but I'll give you a little bit of background.
Yes. Thank you. Board member, you want to come stand here?
I love the names of the-
And I'll give you your sheet. Savannah Sharp.
Savannah's not here. Savannah was a sophomore. She will be becoming junior. She was a starter this year. She had a really good season, so look forward to her being back again next year.
Perfect. Haley Goldsberry.
Yes, Haley Goldsberry is a freshman, and Haley got hurt early in the season. She tore her knee, her ACL, so she didn't get to participate this year in the season. But once again, look forward to her coming back as a sophomore for next year.
Rhea Barlow.
This is the guy we all call her Rye. Yeah, I do. Everybody else calls her Rye.
Superstar.
She's a sophomore also. Rye was our sixth man this year. And probably what I want to say best about her is when she was a freshman, we was playing Greenbrier West. They were rated in the top 5 in the state and went on to the state tournament and went to the semifinals. And up at home, when we were playing them, we beat them at their place. The game was really close at home, and we got in foul trouble. And Rye come in as a freshman and led the team for about the last 4 minutes of the game. We ended up winning. So to me, that's Rye's biggest feat so far.
Then we have Alexis Arbogast.
Alexis is not here. Alexis was a starter this year also for us. She's a junior. She will be an up and coming senior, and we look for her to do a lot of good things this year also. One of the things Alexa did do is she made the all tournament team down at Summers County tournament. So that's a big honor.
Perfect. Lexi Burdett.
Lexi Burdett's not here, but Lexi is a sophomore, being upcoming junior. Lexi tore her ACL also early in the season. I believe it was the last game of scrimmage or either the first game against Richwood, but her and Haley and you can do it.
Maybe Monaco.
Macy's not here. I think she's at the beach, if I understand correctly. And she's a sophomore and playing on our JV team. We're looking for her to do a lot of things.
Allison Taylor.
I don't know Allison Taylor. Now, Allison, she's a junior. She'll be an up and coming senior. Allison is a integral part of our team. She broke a couple of school records in rebounding this year. I believe she was the leading scorer. We had 3 ladies that was right 15 points a game, give or take, percentage point, but Allison did break 2 school records for rebounding, and she probably will break the overall school record this year.
Wow.
Allison also was first team All-State. And she was first team PVC Conference, Potomac Valley Conference, so she was.
Second to state in the discus and she recovered.
She's a heck of an athlete, and we're gonna put a lot of pressure on her. Let's do it right now. Take our team to the next step.
Nothing like public pressure.
We'll forget the next.
So I think Nana Alderman,
Nana Alderman is correct. That's this young lady right here. And Nana, you correct, if I'm wrong, you're a sophomore, right?
yeah,
She's a sophomore. She played on our JV team, and look for her. She always participates. Good to come to practices, good to do the workouts. So Nana will work hard.
Good shooter.
Chloe Annette,
Chloe, and that's not here. Chloe's a freshman, being up and coming sophomore. Chloe's another one, tore her ACL right early in the season. We had 3 ladies that tore their ACL and finished their season off really early. So all 3 of them girls are rehabbing, and we look for them to be back sometime around, hopefully the 1st of November.
Julia Brown,
Jules, come on up, Jules. Jules is a freshman, and she had a good season on the JV. We moved Jules up to varsity, and she got to spend a lot of time playing. So we look forward to her continuing to improve, and hopefully she'll get to participate in all our summer programs. Will just enhance her skills. And I'll tell something on myself. I didn't know how your list was going to be, so I made me another list, and as you can see, they're highlighted. I skipped over Jules's name the other night at the sports banquet, and so I had to apologize, made me look bad, but not going to miss her today. Jules always got a smile on her face, so she's a good kid.
my favorite names ever. Jolene Workman,
Jolene, yes, she's not here neither. Jolene's really involved in rodeo. She stays busy from one thing to the other. She was on the JV team, and we moved Jolene up there at near the end of the season onto the varsity.
Kelly Props,
Callie Props was a senior. She'll be graduating this year, and she was an integral part of our team. Callie played as point guard, and we moved her down to the post when we had Rye. We moved her to point guard, so Callie's a big part of our team. We'll miss her.
Shayla Bennett,
Shayla Bennett is a senior, and both these girls, Shayla, she signed to play soccer at Potomac State, and Callie signed to play basketball at Potomac State. So we have a couple young ladies that's going to college to participate in the sport. Shayla is what I call our enforcer. And she has been for 4 years. So she's done a great job also. Sorry.
and then is it Haven Brown?
Haven Brown, yes. Haven's not here. She is a freshman and played JV basketball. And hopefully she'll continue to work this summer and improve on her skills.
And then would you like to introduce Mr. Snyder, give him an opportunity to say something?
Yes, this is Coach Snyder, and he gave me a job 20-some years ago. And when he retired, I took the head job, then he came back and helped me. And he's been with me 2 years now, so Coach Snyder, go ahead.
What if I goes? 4-7. I don't think. I enjoyed working with Tim. Tim's one of the best defensive coaches I've ever seen. And I'm more of an offensive guy, so sometimes and I say things to him sometimes in the car, we get in an argument. It's not all roses, but sometimes he listens to me, sometimes I keep my mouth shut. But I've really enjoyed working with them. It's a great bunch of girls. They play hard, all get along with each other, there's no drama. There's always a little bit of drama, but there's not a whole lot of drama.
Yeah.
And, got a lot of good eighth graders coming up. It's pretty exciting, what's going on with girls basketball. And it's been good for me. You know, my wife died about 5 years ago. And, for a couple of years I was out, and my daughter, who played in college, played for Pocahontas County, played in college, and my son played in Pocahontas County, played in college on scholarships. And they said, hey, get back involved in basketball. So I don't know how we did it, but somehow I started driving here with Coach Kane. That's how it started. I said, I'm gonna be, you need to relax, go on to games and back, listen to the music. If you won't listen to bluegrass, listen to that going on. But we come back in the car and I drove back and forth just to relieve the stress. And then he asked me to come up and work with shooting. I'm probably a pretty good shooter and I know how to teach it. And, one thing led to another, and I think I'm crazy, but he went to the beach and had a really peaceful week at the beach. And you come back into, semi-chaos up here with everything going on. And I'm not gonna get into that. But, please support the girls, everybody, support the girls. We need help. 2 coaches to coach 28 girls. And all the different skills that you have to teach, please help us. We need another coach. And we always did. I don't know what's going on now. I said my piece. Tim taught me not to say anything like that.
It's okay. Something's going to do.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're gonna get.
Can we, somebody organizing so.
Just one set, there's a few girls that
You wanna-
didn't have that I just want to go ahead and recognize, if you don't mind.
Don't mind at all.
Riley Kerr. I'll go down this list, Kiera Van Devender. Charlie Halterman. Well, I was butcher this, Evelyn Smith, that's a hard name. Eamon, I think that's, whoever said Eamon, that's the way it's pronounced, now that you all corrected me, thank you.
I was nervous too.
Jules, you want me to say your name again? Let's see. Addison Hamrick played for us, she left mid part of the year, right around the first part of the year, but she was on the team for a while. And Haven Brown, we got her, okay, and Haley Teeger. Those were the girls that started out the season with us. All of them stayed except Addison. I think she moved. Had some things for some years. But thank you all. I appreciate all your all support. Hopefully, we can continue to do well. We got a good team. We're gonna have a really good team this year. We upped our schedule to where we're playing 3 AAAs and 1 Quad A school to try to prepare when we go to Charleston. We're going back to Charleston.
And we don't have to, with the local teams that aren't very good won't play us now.
Yeah.
So we have to go out, and that's a lot of travel, but just the way it is.
Anyhow, thank you all. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate the parents. And look forward to working with you all for another season. So thank you. Yes, sir.
Everybody.
Yeah, girls, come on up here and get from it.
We'll put one coach on this end and one coach on that end, maybe.
Okay.
So you want to go this end?
Where do you want?
I'll get right here beside you.
Okay.
You know Miss Karen? Oh, okay.
See you, Karen.
Maybe her memory. I can see Karen.
You're tall, forget.
We're good?
All right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, and we will get certificates for the girls that were on the list.
Okay.
We just pulled the list from the state tournament
Oh, yes, that would.
program.
Yeah. They 12, we got their like bench with their, don't have full.
Oh, don't build you anything. Item number 5 on the agenda is school improvement updates, year end of school checkout process.
So I thought just for information that Ms. Hammonds and I would go over a few documents that we're working on right now, specifically the school schedule. Talk a little bit about what that looks like and how we work with that. So over the last few years, one of the issues with the school schedule has been technical. And that's in that state of emergency report. It was a technical issue that we were dealing with. So the school works with an Excel spreadsheet and puts courses in the Excel spreadsheet. And then after they're in the Excel spreadsheet, they have to go into what we call WEBUS, and that's our information management system. So I want to say, first of all, that when it comes to WEBUS, I would consider myself an operations specialist with that process because I've led that process in other counties. Christy and I, Ms. Hammonds and I are working very closely with that this year to make sure that we have a transition from what the school does on paper to what the school has to do in our WEBUS scheduling system. So if you could just pull up the portal. Okay. So every school in the state of West Virginia uses this information system to schedule, regardless if you're elementary, if you're preschool, if you're middle school, if you're secondary school. And this is how we know if we're matching appropriate certifications with teaching certificates. This is how we know what the course codes are, and this is how we know what students are scheduling. So at the end of the year, we go to a section of the schedule and we start updating the courses, the school courses. And in school courses, every single course and every variation of that course has to be entered into the system. It's quite complicated. The state puts out a scheduling book that has all the course information in it that we have to fill in. So for each course, and you can see all the courses at the bottom there, we have to put in a department number. We have to put in the course code ID. We have to put in the extensions, the environment, the specialized learning, the reserve code, and then the school use code. So rigor indicates if it's a general course or if it's an advanced course. Environment is on campus or virtual. And then we have a specialized learning code. There's a code that you can designate for all courses in reserve. And then there's a school use code. And you can see that they have started using the school use code, which is SB. What's that mean?
That means that that's a split block version of this course. So it takes 4 terms to complete a split block course.
Then the credits that are awarded, and I'm going to leave this up for a second, Christy, because I want to go over this. What is the pass grades? What is the grade point adjustment? What is the grade scale? What students can take it in what grade? What's the terms? All this has to be filled out. This particular interface, these course codes are what is used to build the students' plans, their PEP plans. which tells what their career will be. That PEP plan has to be entered in at the end of 10th grade to indicate what students will do in the 11th and the 12th grade. Now, they do one at the end of 8th grade, which says what their prescribed credits are, so that they make sure they're meeting their prescribed credits. And prescribed credits, I went over that with the board. That's their English, their math, their science, their PE, their health. All of those things should be done in 9th and 10th grade. And then at the end of 10th grade is when they begin their official college or career readiness planning. Are they planning on going to in-state, out-of-state? Do they want to go to a technical school? Do they want to enroll in one of the dual credit programs? So after these courses are built, and I want to go up there to the top, the course ID. Christy, can you just go over the course ID right there? And then go over the course name, the long and short names. In our state of emergency, we had, I'm gonna be generous and say we had 10 courses in our schedule during the state of emergency that did not have a West Virginia state approved course code and did not count towards graduation and did not have standards. So when Ms. Klein from the West Virginia Department of Education came in, they had to write standards for those courses. Those courses had to be approved by the Pocahontas County Board of Education. Sam, you remember this? And then after they were approved here, they went on to the West Virginia Department of Education and they approved them. The problem was what Ms. Hill and I discovered this year when we started looking at student transcripts is that because they were a local course, local standards, local course, the students had taken those, they only counted for local graduation. So some of the students that had a plan to go on to college had maybe an arts course that did not count for college entrance. That was some of our transcription problems. So students were taking classes, parents were okay with them taking classes. And then when we started looking at their transcripts, and we went through every single transcript in the high school, 9 through 12, we had to immediately start juggling courses around, getting students the courses they needed if they were going to college or if they didn't have everything they needed to graduate. Some students had a half credit of math, didn't have a second half credit. They didn't have two maths that had the same course name because they were pulled out of one and put in another. So we had a plethora of problems, and it goes back to the scheduling system. And I'm showing you this because this is one of the things when I say we need a little bit of grace. This is one of the things that's brand new this year for block schedule. We are building it from scratch. Ms. Hammonds, this is her first year being the Weavis contact, and she's very excited about this opportunity. When I come in and I reorganize, I said, Christy, I really need you to do this for me, and I will hold your hand, but you've got to do this for me. Prior to that, Ms. Dunlap was our Weavis, our technology person, and she was over Weavis and making sure that the courses were in there and helping the principals get them in there. And I want to give kudos where kudos is due. Ms. Hammonds and Ms. Hill have hand put in the entire course catalog. They have gone back and put in, how many hours have you spent on it?
Probably 16 hours.
So every single course in here is new because we're on a new block schedule. So that's why we haven't started putting it in Weavis, because we had to build it from the ground up from scratch. Now I know there's a lot of stress, a lot of tension, but when I got here last year in August, our schedule wasn't in this system. That's why schedules hadn't been out. If you recall last year, there was a spreadsheet that was published, not the actual course schedules. And we were adjusting schedules up until, I don't know, maybe the second or third week of school. So after courses are all put in, then we go to, let's go to the scheduling grid. we create what's called an instance, and this is a schedule that we plan on using, and we name it. And then every teacher in the school is listed. And this is our digital spreadsheet. And they are added to this spreadsheet by period, by block. And once we have all the blocks put in, and the students have all their schedule requests on paper, and I believe they're working on that up there right now, we go in and enter them into each section of the course. So block 1 is a section of the course. Block 2 full, because there's a second block that's a full 90-minute block. That's a section of the course. We're doing a split block, second block, and that's a 45-minute course that will run all year. For example, band needs to run all year because band has different competitions at different times, so it needs to be a full year course. So we have those in the split block. Then we put in our lunches, our A lunch, our B lunch, our third block, our fourth block. That's first semester. The whole process has to be done again second semester. So now that we have, you want to go ahead and pull second semester up?
And then there's third, now we have 4 9 weeks that we go by. So we have a third. Show them all at once. You can see everybody's 3 or 4 9 weeks there. So the Bill Brown's a good example. That's every single 9 weeks that he is teaching. Yes.
So see over there on the side, go up there on the side. So we have William Brown, term 1, days of the week. William Brown, term 2, days of the week. William Brown, term 3, days of the week. William Brown, term 4, days of the week. So this is quite a lengthy process to build this. It takes a level of expertise. It takes a level of attention to detail. Once we have the student schedules in there, we'll have to level courses. We'll have to move some things around. That happens every year. Last year when the high school scheduled at Braxton County and the middle school scheduled at Braxton County Middle, you get about an 80% match. And then you have to go back and you have to start changing a few things around. So we will have some time over the summer that we'll have to do some adjust some student schedules. Let's see, do you have anything that I've missed that you would like to go into a greater detail?
I mean, not particularly. I will say Miss Hill was instrumental in building this. She's very knowledgeable. Building those courses, those are what gets plugged into this grid. And I can't stress how important it is to build those correctly. If those don't get built correctly, when you transcribe, things domino and they go bad. If you put the wrong terms, let's say we put in, it takes 1 term to finish, it takes 2. When I transcribe, somebody gets a full credit, they should have got a half credit. It can domino really quickly. So it has to be measured. You have to take your time. You have to check. Today, I exported all of our classes to a spreadsheet, and I went with a fine-tooth comb over to make sure this says 1 credit, this says 2 terms, this says the right amount of points awarded. Just so we're looking at it in all the different ways to make sure everybody has their courses set up correctly so that we're awarding credits properly now. And I think they followed a similar process last year. It took a very long time to get those courses in. But thankfully Misty was supporting me this year. We worked together to get all of those in. And then of course, Ms. Wagner built this spreadsheet. So kudos to both of them.
And Miss Wagner and Miss Bland and the teachers that are on the scheduling team. How many teachers are on our scheduling team?
Would be 1 from each.
6 teachers, and all the directors are on the scheduling team working on this. We have a weekly meeting on this and talk about this. Where are we? What have we gotten done? So Miss Wagner and Miss Bland and the scheduling team's role is they go back to policy 2510. And I went over that at the board meeting. Do you guys remember me going over that? It said what has to be offered, what's required for students to take, what's required for us to offer, and what are the electives. That's the fundamental basis that we have to have in there before we expand and branch out on other things. So part of the spreadsheet, just the regular spreadsheet, is making sure that we've met all the policy criteria. part of the electronic is compliance with the West Virginia Department of Education. And Christy said something really pivotal to me before we came in here tonight. She said, the state peeked into our schedule. I called them with some questions and they peeked into their schedule and they feel like we're doing a good job.
Yes, Luke Carpenter from Levis, they do the schedule, they are the experts. He peeked in and said, you guys are on the right track, things are looking good, I looked at the courses, asked some questions about terms and transcription, and he said, everything you have set up is set up properly to do the things that you want to do. And he looked over the schedule and said, you guys are on the right track. If he had any suggestions, he would have made them, but, you know, he said, this looks good, what you have right now. And I'm not gonna say it's perfect, but we have a great skeleton, great basis.
One of the things that Christy and I dealt with that semester is that when the course, can you go back to a course? We had some courses that weren't quite set up correctly. And what was happening is that a student would get a D in the course, but then would not be awarded the credit. Right? So we all know that state policy 2510, and state law says you can't change a grade unless there's an error. So it took us a little bit to figure out how to deal with that. We sent Missy to Greenbrier East High School to work with a counselor over there and help us navigate through that and how we wanted to do it and utilize the process that the state had put in at the beginning of the year for when we have to change a credit or we have to change a grade. So one of the reasons we're being so meticulous about it right now is that we don't want to get in that same boat again. We don't want to have a student get a grade, not get a credit, not get a grade. So we're really working diligently on that. For weighted classes, it's also important because they have to be weighted correctly, because if they get a grade and they don't get the appropriate weights, it changes their GPA. So we have to measure, there's so many things that are very meticulously measured that we're checking and we're making sure they're done correctly. And that's why we, as a team, all of us, Dr. Combs works on all the certifications to make sure they're aligned with our dual credits and what teachers should be teaching. Christy's doing the technical. We have Stephanie Burns that's working on the curriculum. We have Philip that is working on the special education. I think on our team we have Laurel Dilly, Justin Dilly, Chris Sutton, Darlene, Darlene, who else we have on that team?
Ms. Rabina.
Miss Rabina. We have a huge scheduling team. So we are working diligently to get this done. And I just wanted you to see what that process looks like and give you an opportunity if you have any questions that Christy and I, or Philip, or Rhonda can address tonight.
Yeah, I got a couple. So once we adapt to the new block scheduling and we get this platform in Weebus, will we have to go through the same labor production next year to do this again? Or
No.
so once it's built, it's built and established.
Once it's built, we'll roll it over. And the only thing we'll have to do is change teacher positions. Yes, we'll have to adjust it. And that's been part of the problem is we've been starting from scratch on so many years. So we're really getting a system in place so that hopefully December, January, February next year, we'll have our schedule knocked out and it won't even be, it'll be a bad memory.
Yeah.
The situation that we've gone through.
And everybody's doing this now. This is the same for everybody.
This was required about 4 or 5 years ago, Chrissy. About 5 years ago, we used to have something that we call green screen. It was a DOS scheduling system. And the state rolled out this because they did not have enough room for student records. And there's only one person at the West Virginia Department of Education, and Sarah knows this, that still can run green screen. And they just happen to be over all the financial stuff. Right, Sarah? So we got one person. So they've rolled out a bid to move finances over. So we may experience a tiny bubble.
Get to be a pilot school.
A tiny bubble in that. They've rolled out and bid out a $14 million platform to take over green screen for finances, and that'll be occurring over the next 2 2 years. Sarah and I went to the training this past a month ago.
Mhm.
And we said, because when you're a pallet county, you get all the support. Like people comes to your county, they train you, they work with you, and they work out all the bugs with you. So you're not a lone ranger. So Sarah and I volunteered to be a small county because there's 14 small counties. And we said, "Oh, we need some help. We'll do it." And I think that,
That was smart.
so
I think that was a very good question, Mary.
I think so too.
I think next year, it's gonna be much smoother.
Oh, good.
They'll be doing away completely with the green screen.
that's correct.
I really liked it.
I know Kim Harvey is the last standing
Yeah.
icon of the green screen, and I think she's close to retirement.
She'll still hang around to make sure it's gonna swing in the new system.
It's gonna be put into this kind of system.
We haven't seen that interface yet. But they have assured us that there's a lot of things that, because we have a second financial system that we utilize. What's that called?
School funds online, Karen,
School funds online. It's gonna change everything.
the new interface will pick up it. Hopefully.
That's good.
So just technical operation things is what we're working on. All right, questions? Thank you.
Is this something we're doing? We need to vote on this or anything?
No, it's just an
It's
information.
just an information.
Item number 6 is consent agenda items, approval of the agenda,
I have a question with that.
approval of the agenda.
Yes, there is an item missing on the agenda
Okay.
from last meeting. It was not tabled. It was said we would vote on it at this meeting. To give the superintendent a date to fill all jobs without the board's approval unless it's an administrator. We did not vote on that last meeting. We were to do it this meeting, but it's not on the agenda.
We'll put it on the next agenda.
B is approval of the agenda minutes from for the special agenda for the interim board member, April 7, 2026. Agenda minutes from April 7, 2026. Agenda minutes from expulsion hearing, April the 8th, 2026. Agenda minutes for expulsion hearing, April the 21st, 2026. Agenda meetings from April the 21st, 2026. Do I have a motion? Mr. McCombs made the motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
This is McCoy seconded that. Any questions on any of the items besides the ones Ms. McCoy had?
We need a 4B vote separate, my daughter's on.
How come there's so many that entered?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Well, that's, whenever we get down, she's not on this B, she's on the next one I got to read here.
Why is there so many on here to be approved at one time? That's my question.
You want to answer that?
What are we talking about?
The agenda minutes.
The agenda minutes? Well, we had a lot of meetings there in a row. And Ollie finished them up and we got them reviewed. I just reviewed them and we put them on there.
Number C is payment of bills subject to additions, deletions, or other changes prior to the board meeting. A is payment of vendor listing 10,139.14. B is extra duty pay for May 26th, 2026, 28,351.31. Budget transfers and supplements subject to additions, deletions, and other changes prior to the board meeting.
Okay, I have something on, C, B.
C, A, and B.
No, C.
Oh, under number C, you got a B. Okay, we got to vote on it separate anyway.
Speak up now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
For years in the school system, extra duty pay has always got under got under me. Rubbed me the wrong way because there was always so much money paid out and we were always supposedly didn't have it. When I look over this today, I see that Terry Ratcliffe is getting overtime for a substitute secretary. And she is a substitute. She should not be getting overtime. And she really shouldn't even be in that position, but she is. So I'd like to question, why does she get overtime?
I have not approved overtime. Would you like to address it?
Sure. There was some behind. uh, The books were behind at the high school and she's working and getting them caught up.
Can she not do it during regular time though? That's my question.
She has not. They were very far behind.
So what she's saying, translation, is when we did the financial audit, all of our books were behind. So I really feel like Miss Radcliffe going up there and taking care of the books for us and getting us caught up is a gift. I mean, I'm being honest, it's a gift. We were so far behind. Now, I had not seen the overtime. I will watch it and make sure that I'm doing advance approval of it. But we do need to get our books caught up. Is that the reasoning? Anything else?
Do we have a secretary there now?
Sherry is the secretary.
Sherry is the secretary. We hired a secretary from Randolph County that was a Title I teacher.
Mhm.
And she's being trained. So part of what Sherry's doing is training the new person that's gonna take, no,
Not yet. Because she's still under contract with Randolph.
I thought she was coming and visiting.
She has visited a time or two, but she, just on, she's taken a day or two to come visit.
Okay, but, okay. Is that,
Well, I mean, I guess it is what it is. I don't like it, but
What, I mean, how much
Well-
are we talking about? Like an exorbitant amount?
$250.26. I mean, I know that's not a lot, but it could be if it continues.
we'll make sure that we
Yeah, just watch.
pre-approve that moving forward. We'll watch that.
Please do.
Okay.
You got to be excused on one of these.
This one, that we talked about.
On B?
Yes.
On B. Okay, we're going to vote on all of them, but B under number C. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Motion carries. Now we're going to vote on B, which is extra duty pay for May 2026, 28,351.31. And let the record show that Mr. McComb has recused himself. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay. I think he's left the building. I think he had intentions to leave.
Mr. Anderson, would you shut that door, please?
Let's wait on him to get back here.
Miss Sherry's husband, is he one of those there?
He's not well.
Not well.
I just heard he wasn't well. He's back.
We saw that.
Okay, we seen that. You left the building. Okay, number 7 is personnel matters. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. McCombs made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Gibson seconded. Ollie, are you up?
I'd like to make a motion, we go into executive session.
Ms. McCoy has made a motion to go into executive session on a personnel matter. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. McCombs seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. We will go into executive session on a personnel matter at 6:45. Do I have a motion to come out of executive session into regular session?
So moved.
A second.
Mr. Combs made the motion and Mrs. McCoy seconded it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're back in regular session at 7:08. Okay, Ollie.
The amended personnel agenda for June the second, 2026. Professional recommendations, Jeanette Wagner as head principal of Pocahontas County High School, effective for the 26-27 school year. Requested transfer of Veda Boback to third grade at Hillsborough Elementary, effective for the 26-27 school year. Stephanie Berge as graduation coach for Pocahontas County High School for the 26-27 school year. Emily Dean, requested transfer as teacher of elementary technology and computer science for Marlington Elementary School, effective for the 26-27 school year. The positions that have not been filled as of this reading is the CTE dual credit criminal justice, the CTE dual credit health science, teacher of behavior support at Hillsborough, teacher of special education multi-categorical at Hillsborough, teacher of extended year services at Marlington, teacher of extended year services at Greenbank, credit recovery facilitator for summer school, speech language pathologist for the extended year services. And then at the bottom, we have the resignation of Lucy Rittenhouse as a substitute teacher for the Pocahontas County Schools, effective for the 26-27 school year. Service recommendations, Laura Miller as cafeteria manager for the summer program at Greenbank Elementary Middle School, effective July 6th, 2026 through July 31st, 2026. Sherry Howe as cafeteria manager for Energy Express at Marlington Elementary School, effective June the 22nd through July 31st, 2026. Prep days being June the 18th, opening, and August the 3rd for the closing. Mike Scandalis as halftime custodian for the summer program at Greenbank Elementary Middle School, effective July 6th, 2026 through July 31st, 2026. William Schaefer III is the full-time custodian for Energy Express and summer school at Marlington Elementary School, effective for June 22nd, 2026 through July 31st, 2026. J.D. Chestnut as custodian 3 for 7 extra days at Greenbank Elementary Middle School. Michael Sharp as custodian 3, 7 days at Hillsborough Elementary School. Sherry Howe as custodian 3 for 7 days at Marlington Middle School. William Schaefer as custodian 3 for 7 days at Pocahontas County High School and at Marlington Elementary School. Michael Sharp as custodian maintenance groundsman for Pocahontas County Schools, effective July the 1st through August the 12th, 2026, as needed, to be determined by the facilities director. Stephanie Ames is an itinerant custodian 3 for Pocahontas County Schools, as needed during the summer, as directed by the Director of Maintenance. Charles McQuain is the bus operator for summer school for the Greenbank Elementary Middle School. Postings that were not filled, the bus operator for the Marlington Elementary School summer program, a nurse for summer programs at Marlington Elementary, and of the following substitute aide for Pocahontas County Schools at a state basic service salary for the remainder of the 25-26 school year and the 26-27 school year as needed, Malia Bircher. Extracurricular recommendations, the resignation of Chris Sutton as head basketball coach boys at Greenbank Elementary Middle School, effective for the 26-27 school year. Chris Sutton as head basketball coach boys for the Pocahontas County High School for the 26-27 athletic season. And then postings that have not been filled are the head cheer coach for Pocahontas County High School for the 26-27 school year and the dollar assistant coach girls Greenbank Elementary Middle School.
Mr. President, can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
I think that you need to vote on Mr. Sutton's resignation before you vote on Mr. Sutton's appointment.
I think we have to do that.
Yes.
Oh, we can't vote on all.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, I seen that. I put a check mark
Okay.
beside that.
Got a couple questions here before we much further. Let's see, the new one that we signed up for, Emily Dean, teacher of elementary technology and computer science at Marlington Elementary School. Is that a new position?
That's one of the positions that we added back when we were talking about staffing. That's one of the positions that was approved for a planning teacher. Remember, we talked about procedures and routines and you guys approved that position.
So that's
Is she the lady that works at middle school right now?
Yes.
So that's a new thing that we're bringing back then, right? Okay. I don't recognize the bird, Stephanie, it's not Burns, is it Stephanie Burns is
No.
graduation coach? Hmm? Okay, all right, so that's, did we, I don't see any, didn't we need a social studies and an English ELA teacher at the high school? Are those,
Thank you about.
We abolished them positions.
we abolished them?
Yeah.
And they were brought back as these two CTE positions.
We abolished them because we had no teachers in positions for 2 years to apply for it.
All right,
Anything else?
well, yeah, I'd like to, I want to pull Mrs. Wagner out of the head principal vote and vote on her separately, please.
Okay, we can do that, Mr. Gibson.
And I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Okay. We are going to pull Jeanette Wagner, and we've got to pull Chris Sutton as head at Pocahontas County High School. We've got to pull them two and vote on everybody else, and then we'll vote on them two separate, okay? We're voting on Chris Sutton's resignation from Hills Basket for Green Bank Kids basketball coach at Green Bank Elementary to start with. So we're voting on everybody but the head principal position at Pocahontas County High School and Chris Sutton as head basketball coach at Pocahontas County High School. We're pulling them too. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Now, Mr. Gibson, about Jeanette Wagner, head principal Pocahontas County High School.
Well, I understand it was only one applicant for that position, and I'd like to, in total transparency, I'd like to post that job longer and try and get more applicants, to be, just to have a deeper field. So I'd like okay, so we need a motion, right?
Yeah.
I want to make a motion to repost the principal job at PCHS for an additional time period to see if we can get more applicants, please.
Okay. Mr. Gibson has made a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
Mrs. McCoy seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So repost and bring us a applicant.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And the only one, I can bring it back.
And one other thing that I had on my notes here is we've been talking about coaches.
We have to vote for Chris. We gotta vote for Chris.
Okay.
We gotta vote on him first, Mr. Gibson. Okay, now we're voting on Chris Sutton as head basketball coach boys for Pocahontas County High School for the 2026-27 athletic season. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. We have to vote on a resignation before we can employ him. Okay, Mr. Gibson, did you have something else?
Yeah, we accepted this head soccer coach position back in the young men's soccer coach position back in like January or sometime, and I haven't seen it come across our coaching.
Was it on the agenda?
I thought we approved that.
one's still posted.
It's still posted?
Yeah,
Yes. So what I'll do in the morning is go through the approvals and the hirings, and then we need to extend the post.
for the young men's soccer team at the high school.
Yeah.
I thought the young man that was on,
No.
that's on his honeymoon was going to apply for that.
He's
Huh? Is he not?
He couldn't apply.
Hmm?
I think he couldn't apply.
No,
That's who he's talking about.
Yeah, we didn't
Okay.
have an applicant, and we had an applicant that had difficulty. Is that
Yeah,
correct?
okay. I heard through the community that there was gonna be one apply. So he couldn't get on the platform to apply? Is that what it is? Okay, because I'd heard that a certain individual was going to apply for the head. And I don't know whether they did or not. So we're both in the same boat, but usually I'll hear something. Does that answer your question, Mr. Gibson?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I just hadn't seen anything about soccer at all. And, I've been to my radar and I'm looking for it. So thank you very much, Ms. Cole.
Any other questions on personnel? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. We done that, ain't we? Old business, none. New business, approval fundraiser is A. B is discussion and action superintendent's annual evaluation. C, discussion and action proposed work session for board members. D is discussion and action June 12th, 3-hour early out for students only. And E is discussion of action proposed policy revisions, PO 4432 personal leave. On the next page. F is discussion and action proposed policy revision for PO 4432.02 voluntary personal leave donation program.
I have a question.
I gotta have a motion first.
Same way.
Mr. McCombs made the motion. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Gibson seconded. Thought I was gonna have to do that myself. Same. Okay, questions?
Okay, 9C, I want to know why we have to have that.
Well, the reason I asked for that is because Mr. Gibson, Miss Hammonds, and Mr. Anderson and Mr. McKinney, Darren McKinney, we have all gone and visited all the schools for summer maintenance and for needs from our principals. Those are some expensive items. And what I thought would be the best way to approach that, because we're going to be spending probably a significant amount of money to invite the newly elected board members and the board members that are going out, to prioritize that, put a budget on them so that you guys can work together on what you want us to do over the summer so we can start that process, because we have a lot of work to do. And I don't want to start spending money when we have a new majority coming in without having a collaborative opportunity to work together.
We used to do this all the time. The old board members going out and the new ones coming in always sit down and had a work session and discussed what our views was, what direction we wanted to go, and what the new ones' views coming in, why we could do certain things and why we couldn't. It's just to update everybody on what's happening.
And to be honest, Mr. Gibson had a long talk with me and he said, I need to get working. And I said, Mr. Gibson, I got it on the agenda, but we have to be amicable that we're getting a new majority on the board and work together. So that's what that is. And I do have a proposed date that I would like to consider.
What's that date?
I was just thinking the next board meeting, June 16th, instead of coming in at 6 o'clock, just come in 2 hours early and have the work session and then have the regular meeting.
So you come in at 4 o'clock.
Would that work for you ladies?
Well, I got something on the 16th, the meeting on the 16th. The 6th, can I have the floor for just a minute?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It was brought to my attention that last weekend, a week ago, we scheduled the LSIC, 5 LSIC meetings on the 16th, right?
On the 15th?
On the 15th, in the middle of the day. Well, I'm hearing a good bit of slack from the community members and some of our vital business partners that we scheduled it. We scheduled 5 local school improvement council meetings during the middle of the day when our majority of our people are working and they can't, we've alienated our partners.
I hear what you're saying, but I spoke with all the principals about that and they were all amicable and wanted to do that.
We used to have them at 1 o'clock.
Well, I mean,
So the school students could attend.
our people,
And that's so all the staff could participate because they're not working.
well,
Are you wanting me to reschedule that?
well, it's just not, I don't think it's smart policy. Our community folks that want to come, they can't, some of them can't come because have work commitments for that day. Like local school improvement council presidents. You know, it's a pretty big deal to leave them out. I don't know the solution now that we're less than 2 weeks away from the day. But it's a thing.
Well, we're getting off subject because, we got this June 16th is the one we're talking about right now, which is
That's right, you're correct.
before the board meeting. Then we can discuss that as matters of the board. But, what do you ladies think? Would you let her know?
I can call Connie.
You can call Connie.
I'll-
Okay.
I'll call Miss Rose.
We used to do this all the time, and I don't know how they got away from it, but it's really informative when you do. Because I've been both. I've been a going out member and I've been a coming in member. And it's how you make decisions sometimes, you know, based on what you know. Okay. Any other business that we need to do?
So we're coming in June the 16th at 4.
At 4 o'clock.
Maybe. We'll check with.
We'll check with Connie and let us know.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're gonna be, the three of you is gonna be involved in only, you know, well, all of us now, but
How soon can you let us know ASAP?
Well, she's not gonna be back.
Oh, she's out of town?
She's out of town.
Oh,
just let the superintendent know and then she can fire us an email.
Okay.
Will that work?
Yes, it will work.
okay.
Okay, we need to pull out, B, which is discussion action on the superintendent's annual evaluation. We have to pull that out because we've got to go in executive session to do that.
Mhm.
Okay, we ready to vote on all the rest of them?
Would you like an overview on those two policies?
Yes, please.
I have worked with the, sick leave bank committee, which consists of a representative from each school, the WV, the, Service and Professional Personnel Union representative, and our payroll clerk. And we had these policies on the agenda two weeks ago, and I pulled them off because we needed to distinguish the difference. We were getting quite a few questions on them. So I asked them to prepare a presentation for us on the difference in the two. Nurse Jenny prepared the presentation, and I had hoped that one of them would come and present tonight. However, the task has fallen to me. So we have a proposed revisions, and the reason that we are revising these policies. Missy Irvin, our payroll clerk, came to me, probably Sarah, about 6 months ago and said there was a conflict in what we were doing and what our policy was. And our policy had been updated in 2020. And what we were doing was from 40 years ago. So we had to revise the policy. So this is an explanation. We have to provide in the policy an explanation on how to resign from the personal leave bank, a better explanation and description of what catastrophic medical emergency means. And the committee came up with these guidelines: a medical or physical condition that incapacitates an employee and requires the employee to be absent from work at least a minimum 5 days or greater. And what that means is that they're absent, maybe they've used all of their days, and now if they don't join one of these banks or get approved leave from this bank, they're going to lose pay. So it would result in a substantial loss of income. And they believe as the committee, and I support this belief, that 5 days loss of pay is a substantial loss of pay. Would create a financial hardship if you lost 5 days of pay. The condition could be that they are having to be the caregiver for a family member that is experiencing an illness or a disability. The addition of the word voluntary to the title of the personal leave donation program to better describe that this is not a requirement that employees have to do. This is a choice that they make to join this. So the personal leave bank membership is voluntary, and this is a policy. To become a member, each employee must contribute at least one day when joining before the last day of the first month of school. At the beginning of the school year, if the leave bank has more than 100 days remaining, the current members will not be charged days at that time. New members joining are always charged days. If the bank drops below 100, all members will be charged a day. So you give a day when you join, then we have 100 days. Nobody that's already in the bank has to give a day. But if you're new and you want to join the bank, you have to give a day. Once
You donate a day's salary.
you donate a day, like I donate one of my days that's given to me for leave. And if you get sick and you have no days and you met that previous criteria, then you can get paid
Yeah.
using my days.
Okay.
So once a member, employees remain a member until submitting a form and a request to payroll to be removed from the personal leave bank. Contributions are permanent and you cannot be refunded. You give a day, that day's gone forever. You never get that day back. You've contributed. So then the personal leave bank, only members of the personal leave bank with less than 5 days accumulated personal leave who is absent from work due to a catastrophic medical emergency which incapacitates an employee or an immediate family member for whom the employee provides care. Catastrophic means a medical or physical condition that incapacitates an employee that is likely to require a prolonged absence from work, greater than 5 days, and will result in a substantial loss of income because the employee has exhausted all personal leave. So you can't use legally somebody else's leave until you have no leave. She can't say, oh, I want to save my vacation. I want to use your leave and save my leave. No leave. You have to be 0 days. The member may request days in writing from the personal leave bank. All days must be exhausted before you can be given from the personal leave bank. The maximum number of days a member of a personal leave bank can draw in a year is 40. The maximum number per life of that employee is 100. So 1 year you can get 40. Your entire career could be 30 years, 40 years. You can only use 100. Personal leave bank, any member who requests days must release and provide copies of medical information to the personal leave committee. All days must have a doctor's excuse turned into the board office with the absence slip so that the payroll department can keep track of days used. When a member is granted personal leave bank days, they count towards work days and do not affect retirement. You are using your days that you donated to become a member of the bank. So we changed the beginning of this because people were getting confused between the personal leave bank and the donated leave bank. So we put voluntary in front of this to kind of flush those two policies out. So you may request the use of voluntary donated leave to replace a request by placing a request to the leave committee. The committee will then decide if the request is warranted and will submit that request to the superintendent. And in code, the superintendent may consult or make the decision if it is a catastrophic medical emergency for you to ask other people for their leave. So you used all your leave, you used your 40 days from the personal leave bank, you still need more days. So now people in the community, school community that has days can volunteer to give you a day so you don't lose a day's pay. That's what we're talking about right now. A donor may transfer an unlimited number of days to a spouse or the donor employee. All decisions to transfer must be voluntary. Donated leave may not be used to qualify for or add to services for any retirement system. So you don't get to count somebody else's days for services or retirement. Employees requesting leave are responsible for asking other employees to donate days. Employees who choose to donate leave must submit the required paperwork themselves. Donate leave will only be applied once the donor completes the paperwork has been received. So if you say I'm donating leave and then you don't submit the paperwork to that person, then they don't get paid until you submit the paperwork. Forms may be obtained from the payroll department at the central office. And we have planned at the opening of school to go over this with everyone so that everyone understands the leave policy and what those leave policies indicate and how you participate in the leave policy.
Now, does this policy have to be out on comment for 30 days?
We will be putting this policy out on comment for 30 days.
Any questions? We gotta pull out, the superintendent's evaluation. B, and we can vote on everything else. Then we gotta go into executive session to evaluate the superintendent. We're pulling it. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Now we got to go in executive session. I think we do to do an superintendent
Yeah.
evaluation.
Do you want to approve all the others?
Oh, we wanna finish the agenda, so
We can do it. We can, however you wanna do it. We just voted on everything.
You just voted on everything
Mhm.
except for my evaluation?
Except for your evaluation. We pulled it and we voted on everything else.
Okay, I didn't understand that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, we gotta come back and read the evaluation in public once we do it. So. Do I have a motion to go in executive session?
so maybe
Mr. McCombs made the motion. Do I have a second? Second.
Second.
Mrs. McCoy,
Please,
second.
aye.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye. We're going to executive session at 7:35. Wake up over, Ms. McCoy. Mr. McComb seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Come out at 7:49. We're in regular session. Okay, goals of the superintendent. We asked for goals to establish at the beginning of the year. The first goal was during the 25-26 school year, operation capacity will improve system-wide to address all non-compliance indicators from the spatial circumstances review for spatial education. And we said that Dr. Williams exceeds our expectations. The item number 2 on here, the second goal was all Pocahontas County schools will meet annual growth targets for ELA and math as measured by the end of the year assessments. We also, whenever we looked at it and you went over all the paperwork with us, you exceed them expectations. Number 3, during the 25-26 school year, outdated policies and job descriptions will be updated to align with West Virginia Code and the West Virginia Board of Education policies. And you've done that, so you exceed expectations on that. Okay, the superintendent updates and general, I don't think we have to vote on that, do we?
No.
Okay, superintendent updates, general updates, Dr. Williams.
Well, we need to decide about this LSLC. We need to decide if I'm canceling that. Do you want me to cancel them, reschedule them? I mean, they've been scheduled with the schools on all the principals. It was a collaborative effort that we all worked on together.
Well, I explained my concern over it. But I think we've mishandled LSIC all school year round. I mean, we used to go to the school and listen to the teachers. We don't do that anymore. And I think we've mishandled that altogether. And I really think, scheduling in the middle of the day is not a good move, but we're less than 2 weeks out. I don't know how you change it now.
Okay.
But we was also told the way we used to, and I thought it was a good thing to go in and sit down with the teachers and talk to them, that we couldn't do that because we was violating open meetings.
That's correct.
Sunshine law.
You have an indicator on your bound scorecard that you were not doing that appropriately. We did not have the appropriate agendas to submit, and we were told to do it differently.
Because I thought that was a
We
good.
did it for years and then all of a sudden they said, you can't do that anymore. And,
Well, Tim said it was illegal all along.
thanks, Tim.
Tim just thought, y'all can't do this,
Thanks, Tim.
but we did it anyway.
So proceed.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're still gonna have it?
Yes.
Can you give me the dates again?
It's
June 15th.
June the 15th. And that'll be a special meeting that'll go out.
Listen carefully.
And they start at 9:30 at the high school. The high school's first at 9:30. Green Bank Elementary Middle School is at 10:30. We take a break. Christy, help me with the
That'll also be at the high school or we go to
Green
Green?
Bank will be at the
Good.
high school, and then we split it and come over here for the schools on this end of the county, and we started off with that's what I thought too. And those will all be and Marlington Middle
They'll all
School.
be here.
No, Marlington Middle School's going to host that, so that will be hosted at Marlington Middle School, correct, Christy?
This is, and the high school, Green Bank, we gotta go to Green Bank or they coming to the high school
They're coming to the high school.
at 9:30.
Yes.
Okay. 9:30 and then Green Bank will be at 10:30.
And then next year they agreed to switch it around. We'll go to Green Bank, the high school go there. So
If you remember correctly, Morgan, we used to have these at 1 o'clock in the afternoon so the school, so the students could.
The teacher and the teacher.
It used to be 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock. Yeah, during school year. Okay, you got anything else?
I do not.
Matters of the board, Mr. McCoy.
Okay, well, I've been out in the community this week and I have found out all kinds of stuff. And
Oh, Lord.
I'm not gonna share it all tonight. I will later because the public needs aware of it. But I am gonna ask if we could consider getting another full-time nurse in the schools for next school year. Because if we only have 4 and you always have one school without a nurse, And I think if we did away with, maybe they don't even go in the schools anymore, community care.
There's the hospital.
If we did away with that, that would take care of the nurses.
We
Um,
don't pay community care. It's free.
Yeah, but they use the nurse,
They have an office there. though.
they use the nurse's office, they trash them. I mean, I'm just saying, they used to, not clean up after themselves. And I just think we need a nurse in every school because our nurses are run ragged. And if you have one in each school, they're familiar with those children, even though they will switch and go to different schools, so they learn the needs of all the schools. I just feel there's a need for another nurse. Any thoughts on that? Is that absurd or?
I agree.
I thought we had community care at the high school.
And they have their own office up there.
That's
That's
what I
not their
thought.
own office, it's the nurse's office.
I thought they was in the annex.
Then in the annex.
In the annex building.
And Jenny, when I was there, was in the back of the main office.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Okay,
And community care saves a lot of money because teachers can pop over there in the planning period as opposed to taking a day off
Yeah.
to go to doctor, and kids go over there and
My comment was about, we need more nurses. I don't know about accent communities in
I'm not done yet.
I know.
community care.
It's something to think about. I would like to know how many schools community care is actually in during the day. They're in 4. But we got them in every other school. We got a nurse at Hillsburg.
Full-time nurse, that's where.
We got a full-time nurse at Hillsburg.
Jenny.
Jenny's to high school.
She's
like
been up there,
She transferred to Hillsburg.
she has been up there for years.
Okay. Well,
Oh, they say that the nurses just see the students, not all of them. That's what
okay.
I don't know. Okay, can we just think about that for next school year? Cause I won't be here, so
Yeah.
I just like that considered. And the other thing I have is, it seems as we're getting nowhere on these, law cases, so to speak, that we have. And I would like to recommend that we get new counsel for next year because the one we have isn't doing us much good. Never has.
Something like
Okay.
that.
Is there anything we need to do about that or just let it go or what?
We have him on a retainer for a year at a time, is that correct?
yeah, you renew it every year.
We renew it
When
every
does it come
year,
due?
July
I
1st.
say we don't renew it. And
That might be a pricing issue.
Hmm?
That might be a pricing issue. Can you check that and see?
We will check it.
I know,
do you feel like he's helping you any?
Mr. Long he does a lot of things for us. Yes, he does a good job. There's some things that he can't help us with and we get outside counsel for that. But there's a lot of things that he helps us with.
Okay. Didn't think that was,
There's a
Right.
lot of things, maybe non-personnel things. For example, I just talked to him today and we needed a letter, a legal statement for our USDA grant, which is $1 million. And he's been working on getting that for us. He looks over contracts for us. I
Okay.
sent him the catastrophic information. The high school wants to start a boosters. I sent him what they had developed to look over and make sure it was legally compliant. I mean,
okay. I just wasn't aware of that. I know, from what I've seen, I didn't think he represented us well and helped us, but
He does a lot. I know from the other two superintendents I've
Mhm.
worked with, he does a lot of behind the scenes answering
okay.
day-to-day questions.
Okay,
absolutely.
then scratch that.
and the one thing about Jason, he's easy to get a hold of.
He's easy to get a hold of.
Oh,
He's
he's
always
gonna answer.
accessible.
And, if we have a question as board members, we can call him. And he'll answer our questions, because I've done that in the past when something come up.
Absolutely.
He's a local Pocahontas County board,
He is.
and he does take care of Pocahontas for us for 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Tom Long's son, that used to be superintendent of schools here.
I mean, we had a problem when we were putting our, community league basketball, we had a little bit of, Dave McClure was helping us with that, which was also a Pocahontas County boy, and he came here and helped us regularly. And then we ran into some issues with the state with the transferring of those funds. And Sarah's still working on that. But Mr. Law did advocate for us on that. So there's a lot of things he does for us that the board doesn't know that I don't bring to you. And there are personnel issues that he does not get involved in. But he is a easily accessible.
So he's worth keeping. Okay.
Absolutely.
It's a bargain too.
All right. Mr. McCombs. Karen, do you got anything else? Wait a minute.
Other than that, I would like them to consider a full-time nurse. So all schools have a nurse.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. You got anything?
Nah.
Mr. Gibson?
Yeah, I got several things here that, again, we don't have the extension service MOU, on our agenda tonight.
May I say something about that, Mr.
You
Nixon?
can, yes, please.
When you said something about it last time, that was just like a week ago. And Mrs. Hamilton said it would be on the 16th agenda.
So it's,
So it'll be on the 16th.
okay, so it's, okay, all right. I know there's a timeline on that. It's kind of important. But the 16th will meet that. Glad to see we have a counselor put forward, a grad coach. That's really good. The scheduling issues, thank you for your presentation on that. That's very helpful. I didn't realize most people don't, probably no people understand the depth that was to put that together, and I appreciate that. The principal search, I'm glad to see we had somebody apply. And I really like Ms. Wagner. What about the assistant principal of athletics that's not that wasn't on the agenda tonight. Where's that at? Is it still out posting right now? Okay. Here's one from the community. Apparently the business, and this is from the community, this is from the Beanut Gallery, but the business class at the high school had applied for a grant. And once we canceled the grant, the business class, the grant gets sent back. Does it get reapplied? It just seems like that was bad business to cancel the business class when they were actually doing business at the time. But so what's up with that grant we received on that?
Ms. Hamilton.
Since the class was canceled,
Yeah,
we've received counseling. We will have to return the grant.
okay. All right, that's fine. That makes sense because we all know you have to use that very carefully. But it's going to be true. Okay, so here's one from the community. Our beloved girls basketball team was going to go to Concord for a spring summer shootout, and they were denied access. Can you speak to that? Is there anything, anything about that?
Miss Bland and I talked about it, and because of the dates when that was scheduled, it was scheduled earlier than it usually is. It was outside the parameters of when they could go. And Principal Bland looked at that with me.
So it's just not.
They moved the date of that event. Is my understanding. If you really the person that most speak on that will be Principal Bland.
Yeah.
So I can ask her and get back to you on that.
There's some kind of legal issue then there, right?
Yes.
All right, well, that's good. That's, the public is glad to know about that. My question about the men's soccer coach, there has been some answering to that. You know, and here's what I dinged you on your evaluation on the policy revision. Policy revision on policy number 2371. We keep not circling back and correcting these brush fires that we need to put out. I'd like to see us be more proactive in revisiting those things like for instance, 2371, the Hope Scholarship Policy. I want that fixed. Here's another one, our very public but private personnel issue. You know, that's another one I'd like to see circled back around and something done about, because we're racking up some serious money on that. You know, we've hired Mrs. Karen's legal counsel. We've been paying a stay-at-home salary. I mean, there comes a point we have to look at the financial threshold on that and say, hey, we need some answers here. Okay? I want to see that something done with that. You know, and that brings me down to the athletic vice principal. I'd like to see that done away with until we have a new board seated on that one. Because that's an active grievance. I don't know how we can hire somebody for that while there's a legal exercise on the table on it. Does that make sense? Am I saying that right? Well, that's why I say it anyway. So I don't like that. And, you know, and this is, I want to say this in closing. I am so sad about things. I was really glad to see the girls' basketball team in here. But we should be talking about all kinds of accolades, and we're fussing over things, you know, and I can't figure out what the denominator is on that, but I surely look forward to the day when we don't have these fights. And I want to work real hard and smooth things over and move forward. And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pro officer, we're gonna repost that.
I believe it was reposted.
Was it?
Was it reposted, Ollie? We reposted both of them, right? Okay. Yeah, those have been reposted. When did those come down?
It's on there now.
Okay. I just wondered if we had reposted. I don't have anything else. I just want to make sure we get them done. Our next board meeting will be June 16, 2026 at the Pocahontas County Board of Education
June
Conference.
15th.
Huh?
June 15th.
June, well, it's on yours the 16th.
No, it was,
We got a meeting the 15th and the 16th.
Yeah.
yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Our next board meeting will be June the 15th at 9:30 at Pocahontas County High School.
The 15th is when we're at the high school.
That's what I said.
The 16th is the board.
Well, yeah, but we got a board, that's a board meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
Can't
Yeah,
put
that's-
it all together, it's a board meeting.
It's a board meeting.
so the
Any-
16th is the board. meeting?
The 15th is the board meeting when we'll go through all the LSICs, and then the 16th is a board meeting when you do the bid.
Here, okay.
Okay.
It'll be 2
But,
meetings.
okay, let me get this straight. Our next board meeting will be June the 15th at Pocahontas County High School, starting at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
We are hereby adjourned.